I don't know why you weren't on panelists. Sorry.
Good
There you
morning.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what was happening. Hey, I'm gonna bring on Scott for a minute as a panelist.
Cool. You know, I'm in LA.
You are?
I'm here in LA. Hey, Scott.
Hey.
I made you a panelist, Scott.
Okay. Sounds cool. I gotta dye my roots, dude.
Yeah, look, I'm purple.
I love that purple.
So I have
You
to
should go purple too.
live. I'm going to go Facebook Live. Welcome everyone that's hopping on. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to go Facebook Live over here.
Awesome.
Where are you in LA, James?
So I'm on set coaching.
Oh God, we have to hear all about that. Okay, here we go. Let me do that.
So I can only talk for half an hour because I have to go back to set.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
And then it's going to be lunchtime, so you got to get something from the chocolate fountain.
Like, it's not letting me on my
That's hilarious.
Facebook. It's not letting me on my Facebook, so I have to go over here. Hold on, everyone. There's a technical delay. I have to go over here to Gilbert's Facebook and log him out and log me on and hope it remembers me.
So Scott, you're talking about dyeing your roots. I have to dye my whole head.
You should go purple like Val.
I know, exactly.
You should. I'm telling you.
That'd be
So
pretty
what
wild.
studio are you at?
Well, so it's actually it's an AFI thesis film.
Oh.
So it's at AFI.
Ah, that's what the decorative brick behind you is.
and it's in Chinese.
How fun.
Yeah.
How fun. That's got to be a real challenge.
All right.
Tell me about it.
I have solved this problem. I am so technically savvy, it's insane. Inside the actors, go live, bitches. Okay.
Hey, Marjorie.
Marjorie's in LA too. We're all in LA.
That's fantastic.
I know. Here we go. Hi, everyone. We're going live on Facebook, which I'm going to turn off because I'll be able to hear it. Okay, turning off Facebook. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm here with you.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi. Hi. And Scott Cargill. We have Scott Cargill.
Hey, Scott.
Hi.
So, hi, you guys. Let's introduce ourselves. James, start and tell us where you are and what you're doing.
Great. So I'm James Hallett, James Hallett Studio from New York City. I happen to be in Los Angeles on set coaching in a Chinese language film in the graduate AFI. And it is wild. It's a Chinese language film, which means that I can't understand anything anyone's saying unless I translate it simultaneously.
So did your star find the correct makeup team?
Yes, she is doing fantastically. She's super excited. It's all going really well. It's a really I got to tell you, it's a fascinating process to be a coach in a film that you don't speak that language. So I have had to phonetically translate the entire script so that I can watch her and coach her when, like when she's speaking in Chinese. I know when she misses a line because I know the phonetic. I've actually broken it down phonetically. So I'm learning Chinese in this process.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And I'm so sorry I missed the mind games.
I know. I
couldn't be there.
They were amazing.
They had a lot of fun.
Please tell me.
We talked about you a lot. Were your ears burning?
My ears are burning with Chinese. So
Well, we were talking about how amazing you are and what a great coach you are, and you can work with James wherever you live, and how you coached all these people to series regulars, which is really cool. And Chudy was there, and she was on my panel, and you coached her to the movie.
I know.
Movie. I know.
So did she talk about it, the process, and how it how it went and stuff?
No, well, mostly we were talking about like what is the difference that everyone's seen. And I got to tell you, James, it was a trip because the panels are just getting more and more powerful that I put together. They're really good. Like, it was a great panel, wasn't it, Scott?
Yeah, it was totally great.
It was so good. And you can see, you know, the whole way of doing business right now is breaking down, and it's wild. And then, you know, we just got so much information, and we got out of our own way, and people left there with solid plans, and they're working on their app. It was so exciting. And we had one of our clients, after a year and a half, have her first TV audition, and she booked it. It's in gigantic.
That's fantastic.
Wait a minute, she's batting 1,000?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, and people would say,
Amazing.
"Oh, what? You did all that for a year and a half and everything?" Yeah, I bet you right now she's going, "That was worth it."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're so excited.
Can I ask who that was? Or is that secret?
Sure, but I can't tell you what it is, but it was Rebecca Knowles.
Oh, fantastic. Oh my God. She should be working all the time.
She will be.
She will.
She should be. I know.
She will.
Exactly.
She is. You know,
This
Wow.
is just the start,
prime
man.
actor. I mean, you know, that's what we talked about at the Mind Games. So I should go back. Like, I need to introduce myself, and I need to introduce Scott. So most of you guys on here know who I am, but I'm Valerie Hubbard, and I'm the I'm the founder of Actors Fast Track. And we are changing the way actors do business. And we had our launch of our national tour coming to a city near you. On Sunday, we started in LA with the Mind Games LA, and it was an amazing event. And next we're going to be in Atlanta on April 15th. And then in New York on April 22nd.
Yay.
Yeah, and New Orleans May 6th, and Chicago June 10th. And they're going to sell out. We had an amazing crowd on Sunday. It was and it was raining. It was daylight savings time, and we still had this amazing, powerful crowd that just, it was really, the energy was amazing.
Wow.
Okay, and then I've invited Scott Cargill, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself, but he works for Actors Fast Track. He's a coach for me. And all of my coaches are working actors, and all of my coaches have worked with me as an acting client. But also Scott's my friend for a very long time.
Very long time.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Scott. I've been an actor for a very long time and a friend of Val's for a very long time. I had a theater company in New York for 15 years. That was, did you know that we were ostensibly an off-Broadway company?
That's awesome.
It's crazy. We were an off-Broadway company only because we didn't have seats, so they couldn't tell us they couldn't figure out how many seats we had. But since moving to LA, I've been doing lots of commercials. I've got 3 commercials running right now. Let's see, as far as my career so far, I have made 41 sales calls this week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite, I mean, I got pretty inspired at the Mind Games to up my game on my sales calls.
Yeah. I was on I had a session with Shelly this morning. She's like on it. Like, she found her way. You know, it's so much about finding your way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what actors don't understand. Actors don't understand a lot because no one ever tells them they're an entrepreneur. And even if they do, they don't even know what that means.
Right.
Right. But, you know, the thing about being an entrepreneur, which all 3 of us understand, is that you don't find your way right away. You just take one action in front of the other, and it figures itself out. And the other thing is, like, you don't need to put something in place until you need it. The thing that's really cool about how my clients utilize James and utilize Tish with VO Dojo and James Hallett Studios is that they use them because they need them. So it's like they're a part of their company getting them to the greater thing. Like, you know, I had 3 clients that signed with big agents, and they had a voiceover department representing them, and they didn't even have a reel. So then to go take Tish's class and figure that out and how to get that revenue stream going for them. And Tish talked about that on Sunday. She talked about the revenue streams, how we need to increase. And you talked about that, right, Scott? I mean, you had said something, or I don't know.
I don't think I
I was some conversation. We talked a lot about systems on Sunday.
We did.
A lot about systems.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mail coming. My mail comes through the door, and Gracie's like, "What the hell is that?" So it comes through the door. She's not ever experienced that.
That's
It's
so funny.
traumatic for her. So anyway, the tour is really important right now, much more than I even realized,
Oh yeah.
because things are changing so quickly, James.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a question for you. Anne asked you, Valerie, what do you mean by systems?
Oh, thanks for asking, Anne. Da, da, da. Okay, so when I'm going to start with this. When someone buys a business, they are buying two things. They're buying their list size. So, how many people have bought your product prior to it, and your list size. And the second thing they're buying are your systems. So what does that mean? Like, Actors Fast Track has a 5-point system that we put everyone through. Even if you're a big star that comes to us that wants to work in some other area in the business, we still put you through the 5-point system. So that's a system. So when an agent tells you, well, I don't like it when you do that, most of the time they're telling you based on a feeling that they're having right there in that moment, but not on any system. And that's what will separate you from every other actor. It also keeps you out of the furry place, I call it. So what do you do exactly when you get an audition? That's a system. When I get an audition, I read it through twice, and then I make a decision. Do I need to get it coached or not? Right now, for you guys that are just new in the industry, you're always should be saying, yes, I'm getting it coached. Right? So am I getting it coached or not? What, and then I always get all the W's, who, what, where, when. So I have a system that I go through. So what happens a lot to you guys when you get an audition, this is what happens. Oh my God, but if I get it, I won't be able to go on that trip. And then, but, oh wait, maybe they don't really want to see me. I think they called me in wrong. Like, that's where you guys go instead of going to your system, which is to read it through twice, to make a decision about whether you need it coached or not, to work how many hours does it take you per page of dialogue. And you better work it on your feet, because we've all won Oscars in our head, right? So work your auditions on your feet out loud, right? And so that's a system. What is your system for taking an audition? Like, if you get an audition and you have a criteria list that you run it through, that's a system. So we all have systems. In acting, our systems are beats, iambic pentameter, the rules of improv. All those are systems, because you can't just be creative without any walls or systems or direction or objective. And so what I normally do is, because I'm dealing with a bunch of super duper creative people that hire us, that we have to go, okay, no, over here, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, go through here. And because then we can look at the numbers and we can say, oh, this is why you aren't getting auditions, right? It's, and it's also about how you walk into the room. Isn't that true, Scott?
God, in fact, that might be the entire audition.
Yes.
I mean, they make a decision about you when you walk in the room.
Yeah.
If you walk in as a professional who's coming here to do a job and show them your stuff, that's one way. If you walk in, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to remember my lines.
Yeah.
That sets the tone for your whole audition.
Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting, because where I've run into trouble, if any trouble, in my acting business has been, my inconsistency of in the room. And so yesterday, after I left the Mind Games, I got 3 auditions, James.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Of course.
Yeah, crazy. So I put one on tape that night, and then so then I went. I had this 4th callback for the OA that you coached me on.
Oh my God, that's fantastic!
4th callback.
That's fantastic.
Jeez.
I should not say probably what it is, but you know, you coached me on it, and it's the same thing because they don't give you the script, right? So then when I picked it up, I was like, wait, I know this, you know, because I worked on it with James, and so that was really cool. And and so I went, and on the way there from Ventura, I had a flat tire. Yeah. And I almost didn't go. And then I remembered I almost didn't go to that State Farm because of the fires. And I went and I booked it. And I was like, I'm going. So I made, because I had to get back here. Yeah. And so I made it. And it was an amazing audition. I had a great time in the room. And I came back and I felt so good.
Awesome.
Yay.
Awesome. Yay.
So Scott, you didn't book anything because Brian booked something? Rebecca booked something.
Yeah.
Maureen booked something. Maureen booked a pilot.
I know.
In 1 week, we had 3 people book stuff. 3 Actors Fast Track people.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's only going to get more.
It's only going to get more.
It's only going to get more. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I mean, sort of add to what you're saying about systems. If we understand that a systemized approach is a way. It's a way of creating a signposts and a guide system into the most opportune success, right? So I know that if I follow the rules that I know as an actor to approach a script, I'm going to get there most effectively, right?
Yes.
It does not mean that every role I go out for, I'm going to book, but I do know that every time I show up, they're going to be like, wow, that was an awesome audition.
Yes. And listen, here's the thing, you guys, the best batters, right? James always says that, but I feel like it bears repeating over and over again. Bat at 30%. That means 7 out of 10 times. If you're the best, that means 7 out of 10 times you're going to hear no.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So you have to get used to the no's. You have to say, oh, no. Yes, thank you. You know, and it's so exciting because Rebecca, was her first TV audition and she booked it.
You know, but a friend of mine had over 100 auditions last year. Didn't book a single one. Like big auditions. Didn't book a single one. He booked the first one this year.
Yep.
So, you know, you can have 0 1 year.
You know, what happens is
and the next year is 1,000.
Once it gets momentum, it picks up. It becomes exponential. And then really, if it stops, it's really about you then, not taking the curve, right? Or not, you know, like I'm clear, my acting business isn't growing because I've been focused on Actors Fast Track, but I still got like 3 auditions just of residual, my business being such a strong business. Right. But I'm, you know, but like if your business stops after you get the momentum, it's really on you. It's actually always on you because it's your business. Mm-hmm. So if you're not having the acting career that you want to have today, that's your fault.
Yeah. And the other thing,
much work.
And the other thing about having a system is that because you have a system, you can say, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing and I know what I've been doing. So if I'm not succeeding, I can adjust the system.
Yeah.
Right. You can.
You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's
exactly.
They go, oh, it's not working. I'm never going to be an actor. It's not working. I quit.
That's right.
No, it's one thing that you have to adjust, right? So if you're doing drop-offs and everyone's yelling at you and you're feeling scared, it's because that's what you're bringing in the room with you.
Yeah. And like really so much of our industry is about community and getting to know people, mm-hmm. right? So the other thing about going in, 7 times with a no is that you've gone in 7 times, which means that there's somebody calling you in, and often that person is rooting for you, that they want you to succeed, right? So they're actually out there trying to find the right fit for you. So if you give up or you feel like, oh, I failed, I'm not going to get it, you're actually missing the point, which is that you're planting seeds, right? You're planting seeds and you're watering them and you're letting them grow. And that's our job. Our job is like taking care of that garden.
Yeah. Yep. That's all it is.
And you know, I just wanted to echo that. It's you just keep planting and you just keep going. And actually the systems help you keep going. Because if I have a system that every week I'm going to be doing 5 sales calls, then no matter how depressed I get, no matter how overwhelmed I get, I'm still going to do 5 sales calls because that's my system.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I feel.
I don't care if the world's falling apart. I tell my clients, you know, I'm like,
No.
my sales calls, what'd you do?
I mean, it's like paying your bills as a system, right? You get a bill, you pay it. You pay it on time, you pay it. If you have to pay it overwards, you get it. But there's a system in place.
Yeah.
And the more systems you have in place, the less you have to think about it.
Right. Which is why that toleration exercise,
Yeah.
the toleration exercise where you write down 100 tolerations in your life and only 100, you can't write more. And you have to write them at least in 2 days. You can't take like weeks to write them. So what are you tolerating in your life? You write all those things down and then you start taking them off, and you can't add. And even though it might take you 5 years to get that list off, sometimes it makes a gigantic shift. Like I did the toleration exercise twice in my life. Both times it created a gigantic shift in my life. I just did it last year, and I'm living in a brand new house right now in Ventura, California, because I did that list. So it's like, it's wild, you know, that's a great exercise, and it gets that stuff out of your way, because, you know, when you're building a business, and that's it, it's not an acting career. It's not an acting career. Stop calling it that. It's a business, right? And once you build it and you open it, you have control of how long it lasts. You can close the doors and go on vacation, or you can keep it open at all times. But then, you know, if you keep it around too much and open too much, you'll burn out, right? So you want to make sure you set hours for yourself, you know, like when I'm working on my business and when I'm not. That's a system.
Yeah. Yeah, and without systems, we experience overwhelm.
Yes.
We get, because it's like we have to reinvent the wheel every time we step out into the world, and that is completely overwhelming, right? And not necessary.
No.
And that's you know, the power. And this is, you know, when people talk about method acting, like it always makes me laugh, because I'm like every way of acting is a method, right? Like if you don't have a method, you're in this place of having to reinvent over and over and over again. It's like find a system of approaching text. Find a system of being in front of the camera. Find a way that works. You save yourself time. You become more efficient. You experience less overwhelm. And but Scott, you can say something?
No, sorry. I remembered that I put the wrong shoes on my daughter and it's raining. That's all.
I love you. Okay, I have a question to answer.
That's funny.
I have a question from Garrett, who's a new Actors Fast Track client. Remember Garrett, James?
Wow, awesome.
Welcome, Garrett.
Yeah, welcome, Garrett. If you know you're right for a series, but the sides aren't on Showfax, how can you find sides for a specific role to self-tape? Okay, so if you can't find the sides, you might. So, Scott, this is a good question. Can we find them on Sides Express?
They're exactly the same.
They are?
They're exactly the same. I've checked. They're exactly the same. At least as of 3 weeks ago, they're exactly the same.
So go to Sides Express and make sure you do the same thing you did on Showfax.
But I'm telling you, they're exactly the same postings.
They are? There's nothing different?
Nothing at all. They're owned by Breakdown. They're both owned by Breakdown.
Oh, wait. Did Breakdowns go hot? Is that the big company that she said bought Casting Networks?
That I don't know. But they're the same company. They're
okay. All right.
enough.
I'm answering Garrett's question.
Okay, yes. So
this is what I would say. Number one, you can always do a plea video. So like say, hey, I'm Garrett Wagner, and I am perfect for this part, and this is why. Right? This is where you can call me. This is it. And by the way, here's a little clip for you, or something like that. And you could get it to them that way. You can do a drop off, so drop off to the executive producers or the producers. You could pitch yourself on the phone. So you could say, hey, my name's Garrett Wagner. I recently booked X, Y, and Z. I'm really right for this pilot. I don't have a rep yet. If you don't, if you do, it doesn't matter. Say, but I really am right for this role. Can I get the sides and put myself on tape for you? You could pitch yourself to one of the producers or the showrunner. You could send a gift with your little recording in there. So I think one of the things is you have to imagine that it's a castle and you're just trying to get in. So you might want to walk at the front door, the side door, the back door, the roof, wherever you can to get in the castle. And don't quit until they say go away. Or they just cast it and it's shot. Even after they cast it, don't quit, because so many times they recast it. Okay, and yeah, you can walk into offices and say you want to audition, and congratulations on the film you booked on Monday. He took what we said at the Game Changer, James,
Wow.
and did it. And then he came to the Mind Games and actually hired us. He couldn't come the day after to the Game Changer after the Pro Expo. Right. So listen, you guys, aftmindgames.com is where you get your tickets. If you haven't gotten your tickets for one of the upcoming Mind Games in a city near you. If you're a client, you just need to let Tina at Actors Fast Track know. I did that to you, and I meant to do it to all panelists and Tinas. ActorsFastTrack.com, and she will get you a seat at one of the events, and they will sell out. We're going to be in a smaller venue in Chicago probably, and in New Orleans, a bigger one in Atlanta, because we know a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
So Atlanta's going to be fun. That's next.
That's fantastic.
And of course we'll have big turnout in New York. We always do. So yay. And then Anya Pearson is doing her play.
I know. It's so exciting.
I know. Really exciting. So we're going to see it. Actors Fast Track is buying tickets for people. I told you. And then I'm hosting part of the after party.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited.
So I have 4 minutes and then I have to go back. So you guys, I love you. I'm so sorry I missed Mind Games. It was for a good reason, but I will be at Mind Games in New York City.
Okay.
And Scott, are you going to be there? Will I see you?
I don't think so. Probably not. My business here is calling me to stay.
All right. Okay.
But I'll see you in these video chats.
And yes,
Yeah.
Good.
We're going to stay on.
Good.
All right. Bye, James.
Bye, you guys.
Oh, we're going to stay on. Okay, good. Bye, James.
Yeah, Scott.
Bye.
Go for
Love
an
you.
hour.
Cool.
Marjorie. Bye, Marjorie. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, let me see. Hi, everyone. Let me see who else is here. Okay, if you have questions, there's a place for you that you can type in your questions. So Scott and I are going to take your questions. How come I can't see the attendees? Oh, here they are. So we have all these beautiful people. Oh, hello. Look at that. Look at that. Rebecca's here. Yay, Rebecca. Booking. So much came out of Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for the things that that Shelley is seeing right now and doing. It's exciting. It's so exciting. Yeah.
You know, one thing I wanted to sort of address at some point about this weekend is on one hand, Valerie, you talk about how we work with working actors, serious working actors, pros.
Yes.
On the other hand, I do want to point out that we have a lot of clients who are just starting out.
Yes.
And what makes someone a pro is the seriousness with which they approach their business, not the length of time they've been there.
Right. And so I think what people misunderstood when I said on Sunday was that I only work with people like that. I never said that. What I said is I tend to attract, right? Determination comes in all different shapes and sizes and experience.
Yeah.
I mean, Demir is a perfect example of that. Like, he is someone that is so driven. Right? He's got a thick accent. He's got other things that would stop any other person, but not him. And he'll probably work because of it. He will work because of it.
Yeah.
Right? He will work because of his determination. Right? So we have plenty of successful actors like Nancy Finn, who don't come from the strong, training of, actor schmacker shit that a lot of us come from. I mean, I think the reason that I also attract those people is because I'm not cheap. Because I deserve to be paid for what we provide, right? And I think that when someone spent $100,000 on their education and they're not getting what they thought they were going to get by going to Juilliard, Yale, NYU, they're going to come and hire someone like us because they're like, I got to do it. I got to find out why I'm not working. Right. And so that's why. And it's also just who we are, We have amazing clients that are brand new to acting or just are finally pursuing their dreams, but they're determined.
It's the determination.
It's the determination that is equal in all of our clients.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's
true. If you're not determined, that's kind of like, if you're not determined, if you're not serious, then you're not going to last in this community.
No. And you also won't last as an actor.
No.
I mean, because there are too many people who are determined, who are actors, who will take your work away from you.
Yes.
That's just that easy.
And so I was going to actually say that in the group call coming Tuesday about that, because I know that, it's really interesting to me when you're a speaker, a public speaker, what people remember. Isn't it the weirdest thing? Catherine, that's a good question. So Catherine Leesk asked a question. Is this toleration exercise something you do at the Mind Games, or is this a technique you and the coaches teach or that you found elsewhere? So Jay Perry, Catherine, taught me that exercise, the toleration exercise. I've done it twice in my life. The first time I did it in 1995. And, the instructions are very clear. You take, start in your apartment. Like, what are you tolerating? This basket of stuff sitting here would be number one, right? The boxes of stuff in here that still need to be unpacked, number two. So things in your world that you go, I need to take care of, but I just don't have the time, or whatever is in your life that you're tolerating. Here's what I found out. 100 seems like a lot, but somewhere around 50 something will click and you'll just like start writing down things like my mother, my husband, like the big stuff will come out. So, and then once you have that 100 list, you don't ever change it. You just start with it and you don't add to it and you don't write more than 100, and you start with the easiest thing on the list and you go take care of it. Like this afternoon, I would organize this basket of stuff and I could scratch off the first one. The first time I did it, it created me moving to Los Angeles. That's what it's like when you're blow drying the ice box. You defrost it and the whole big chunk falls off. Like the chunk that came from the toleration exercise was me moving to Los Angeles. The chunk that just came off from the second one I did, which was last year, was me selling my house and moving to Ventura. It creates like a gigantic shift in your life because all of the stuff you're tolerating is just in your way of getting what you want. And so, yes, we talk about a lot of things at the Mind Games because what we're doing is making people see how they're getting in their own way, therefore showing ourselves how we're getting in our own way, which is even crazier. Right? So does that make sense? Yes. Done. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the exercise is a great exercise. So I highly recommend that you guys try it. You know, a lot of times, like back in my business in the 90s, that's when Scott knew me. I would, I had this client that she called me once and she was crying, and I had just learned about this exercise. And, and she said, "What do I do?" And I said, "Go clean your closet." She said, "What?" I said, "Go clean your closet." She thought I was crazy. She went and cleaned her closet and she got the part.
That's right. Hey, Karen Strong has her hand raised up.
Yeah. Question. No, you don't rank them, Conan. You don't rank them. You you just write them down as they come out, and then you take them off. So you could take off number 70 first. You know, what I do is look for the easiest thing to do. Like I remember the first time I did the exercise, the first thing I took off was I had this light in my living room, and every night I would sit down to eat dinner and it was night, and I'd look up and I'd see all the dead bugs in the light. And I'd be like, "Oh, I need to go get the step stool, climb up, take the light down, go wash it." And by that time I'm eating dinner and watching TV, and I didn't want to do that. So that's the first thing I did. I went and got the step stool and took the damn thing off. Okay, and Karen Strong has a question. Hey, I need to go to her. Hold on. Na, 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 na.
And of course, Conan, the attorney, wants to know if he should prioritize it after he has the list.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I don't see her. Where is she with her hand up? I'm trying to.
Oh, I just saw her.
Wait, I got it. I got it. Karen, I'm promoting you to panelist. Hello? She went away.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? What questions do you have, Scott?
Geez, what questions do I have? I would love, geez, that's a good question. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. Yeah. Talk to me. Well, this is something everyone always asks, so it's always fun to answer every once in a while. Oh, there's Karen Strong. But what's the difference between an agent and a manager?
Okay, I will tell you that. Not anything.
Well, actually, that's not correct.
Okay.
That's not correct.
That is true. There's a thing about the union, right? Yeah.
Well, if an agent is licensed in New York, in LA, in California by the Department of Labor. Managers aren't. So if you have a problem with your agent, you can sue them in the Department of Labor, and it costs virtually nothing. If a manager, you have to sue in Superior Court, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars. So you have greater protections with agents that are licensed through SAG-AFTRA.
Thank you. That is a fact.
That's a fact.
Right. So we only talk about facts.
Yes.
Here, because look, an agent or a manager is someone that you employ in your service to sell for you.
Right.
It does not mean that you stop selling yourself. And now, more than ever, you need to know how to sell yourself. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, and you know, the best agents come when you're already in the marathon and you're running, and you look next to you and a really good agent is running next to you. And they're like, "Hi." You're like, "Hi, how you doing?" "Good, I'm good, I'm good. Let's get some water." And then you're there with you on the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're with you on the run because you're already running. But most actors are standing still with their hands out like this. "Please give me some." Right? And that's why it's pathetic. Also, I'm always amazed by actors can be the smartest people in the world, and they can also be the dumbest people in the world. You know, about about understanding, like thinking that someone else is going to do it for you. It's just not going to happen that way. And also not knowing your stuff. You know, if you want to be on TV and you're not watching TV, I don't even understand that. If you want to be in movies and you're not going to movies, I don't even understand that. If you want to be in plays and you're not reading plays, I don't understand that. Why would you do that? You know, Shelley really said she found her trifecta today, right? She said Casting About, Show Facts, and IMDb is how she's really sussing out what she needs to suss out right now. Right? And so whatever works for you, that's a system. Right? Karen, did you find the mute button? I've got you off mute. She went away.
Wow. Maybe it's a ghost.
So the business is changing though so much, right, Scott?
It is. It is. Hey, just to that point of agents, I do want to just say something because I spoke with a new client the other day about this.
Okay.
If you have an agent, if you have someone who calls themselves an agency, you need to go to the SAG-AFTRA website and see if their name is listed as an agent. Because if they're not listed as a SAG-AFTRA agent, they're not an agent, and you need to drop them right away. Can I say that again? If your agent is not franchised with SAG-AFTRA, they're not real, and you should drop them right away, even if you love them, even if they get you auditions, because you have no protections at all with them, and they're misrepresenting their business.
Okay, great. Anne, who's your client, has a question. She says, okay, showing my hand. I'm comfortable with preparing for musical theater project, done it for years. Now, as I approach the TV genre, I feel like I need to train via classes and coaches before I can cold call. Oh my God, we could talk to you, Anne, about this, both Scott and I.
Anne, yeah.
My brain hears that this is BS, but boy, I feel stuck. I'm watching TV shows, taking VO classes, taking dialect classes. Okay. You probably don't even need all the classes. You probably just need one class and one way. And, you know, look, don't worry about getting ready for something before it's here. You're an accomplished actress, so it will be super easy to get you ready when you get the rest audition. Scott and I could coach you in like 10 minutes if we had to.
And you're going to be a piece of cake, Anne.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? I mean, what you're saying is don't wait to sell until something happens. Just start selling. Start selling your product.
Yeah. So many actors are getting ready. Here's the thing. Both of us moved to LA in our 40s. Look, when I moved here, Anne, my husband got drunk one night with a friend's, friend of a friend. And he said, Valerie made the biggest mistake of her life coming here. She's never going to work. 5 years later, he was asking me to be in his web series when I was doing True Blood, a Billy Bob Thornton movie, and a huge guest star all at the same time. And so, right, so just because they say something doesn't make it true. And there is a skill set, but just like we were talking earlier about systems, it's just adjustments that you have to learn how to make. And I went through a meltdown when I moved here. So this is a great story. I was going to casting workshops and they were doing cold readings. And back in New York, they weren't doing cold readings. We were doing monologues. So I had made up my mind that I was bad at cold reading. Right. And so when I got here, we were doing all these cold readings and I got actually stuff happening, it wasn't like, so that was just all a stupid story I was telling myself. But then what happened is a manager came one day and they said, let's do monologues. And all those people that I thought were so much better than me, I wiped the floor with them with my monologue. And the manager was literally sitting back like this, watching all the monologues. And when I started, he physically went like this, right? He physically went like this. Karen. So close. Okay. So yes, you are the magic. And so, it's just technical. It's just technical stuff. Like, like Scott, right? Scott was doing a lot of this, he realized. Tell us about your learning how to act on film, Scott.
Well, I did a lot of commercials. And I ended up doing lots of physical bits, like small, funny physical things in commercials. I do a lot of commercials where I don't speak because they got me doing something stupid. But, so I'm used to doing physical bits. And what I found out in my acting classes is when you're speaking on camera, you got to just basically stay still. It's not like stage where you want to move so the audience knows where to look, right? Because there's a big stage, and where does the audience look? No, the camera tells you where to look, so you just have to stay still and do it. And the other thing is that some of the best, the Shakespeare's, the people that are writing worthy of Shakespeare today are writing in TV. So the words are so good, you just almost don't have to do anything. It's kind of it's an amazing time to be an actor. So yeah. But here's the thing. What I think, Anne, and I think of all of us, is that they're going to want to meet us, not because they're going to want to put us on tape or anything, but they're going to want to meet us because they want to meet us. They want to know who we are, and they want to know that they can call us in and what kind of things they're going to call us in for. And so they might call you in for things, and you might not get cast, but that's not the point. You want to get in the room and get on their radar so that they start calling you in regularly. I mean, look, if you're in Shonda Rhimes' stable, she's got how many shows running? They call you in for all her shows. So that's what you want to do. You don't want one job. You want a whole stable of jobs. And to do that, you need to know, 20 casting directors, 10 casting directors now?
Yeah.
If you have 10 casting directors calling you in regularly,
you'll work all the time.
6 figures. Yeah, you're making 6 figures a year. So you've got to start meeting casting directors. You've got to start meeting producers, writers, and directors. Doesn't matter whether you're ready. You're never going to be ready. Just do it.
Right.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it, Karen.
Okay, we've got a bunch of questions. So I'm going to go back. Wow, cool. Okay, what is the difference between ATA and NATR agents and SAG franchise?
I put a link in the chat about that. Let's not take up time with that. You can do your own research on that stuff.
Okay, cool. Thank you. An addendum to Scott's thoughts on agents. There are now some New York SAG franchised agents who are using GSAs, not SAG contracts. A GSA is not a good thing unless you can assert changes and can really screw you.
What's a GSA stand for? General Service Agreement?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Right. So listen.
They can't do that.
Well,
SAG franchise agents, I don't think, can do that.
Well, there's a lot of things that people are doing right now that they
can't do. Yeah, you're right.
So best TV acting coaching classes in New York are James Hallett, Bob Krakauer, and Joanna Beckson. Joanna Beckson, Beckson. Matthias studies with her. James is amazing. He coached me on a lot of stuff. He coached me on the finale of True Detective, the one that Ann Dowd booked. And last but not least, speaking of technical help, I just got an audition for an Atul Fugard play at Hartford Stage. Advice where to look online or find someone to work on a South African accent. I haven't coached for an accent in a million years. Okay, so Catherine, I can hook you up with an actress in South Africa, and you can probably send her, $50, which is a lot in rand for her, because the dollar is strong there. So I can do that. I'll do that via Facebook right now, or when I get off. Okay. So when I get off, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that down right now. So her name is Rhea, R-E-A Sagati. She might be listening. No, she's asleep right now. But she lives and she did some coaching for a Fox show for a South African dialect. So she might be able to meet you for a few minutes on Sky. You can also maybe use Actors Fast Track if we're not. Hey, hey, girl. Sorry we keep losing you, Karen. If you have a question, you can type it in. And Kara, if a roll is $9 on Showfax, what most likely is the size of the roll? 9 pages. It's a dollar per page. It's $1 per page. But if you are a member of Actors Access, you can download. You can download up to 25 sides a day, right, Scott?
Yeah, more than enough. Plenty.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there right now, you guys, on Showfax.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of stuff on there.
There is, yep.
Yeah, so that's good. But there's a lot of work that's not going on there.
Most work is not going on there.
Yep.
Most work is not going on there. In fact, I'm beginning to think that less and less work is going to be going on there because people are embargoing their scripts. Like none of Shonda's scripts are on there because she embargoes them all.
Oh, so Boyce says GSAs are based on the old indentured servant contracts from a few hundred years ago. GSAs can back you into situations where you can be asked to do anything, not just performing by those with whom you have the GS agreement. Hey, Scott, Marjorie says, did you post that link to the chat on ATA, NATR, and that other link you discussed? My signal broke back online. Thanks. Yes, we did.
Yes.
And we're so excited to have you too, Karen. So excited. Thank you, Boyce. That's great. You know, here's the thing, you guys. Even in 1986, when I did my first film that was non-union, when they asked me in the middle of the night to jump out of a tree in high heels, I said, okay, you're going to sign this piece of paper. And it says, I will cover all of Valerie Hubbard's medical bills. And they wouldn't sign it, so I didn't jump out of no tree. That's just smart business, right? And like, so remember this, you guys, all this talk about contracts and this thing, you know, agents will be lucky if they're here in 2 years. So, you know, here's the thing. You have to be smart about what you're doing, when you're doing it, and you have to read everything. You have to read the freaking small print because you're the CEO of your own company. Mm-hmm. Period. So now it's time to grow a set or to grow up. And me too, mm-hmm. Right? I mean, there's plenty of things I'm like, oh, I don't need to know that. I'm just an actress. Oh, I mean, Scott knows more than me. He knows. He's seen my growth as a business owner.
Oh my God.
The last 5 years, 6 years, whatever. Yeah.
Right? Amazing. And the thing is, though, that's what you've done with your business. We all have to do with our businesses. That's what this all is all about. Yes. We've got to grow as business people.
Yeah. And hey, so Kara, where's the best place to find auditions? Well, this morning, Shelly found out that her trifecta is Showfax, IMDb Pro, and what was the other one? Casting About.
I have all those 3 open all day long.
So that is where we're finding people finding stuff. Now, also, like I said at the Mind Games, Deadline and Hollywood Reporter can give you a lot of information. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And we do, like in the Pilot Challenge page, we try to post that stuff. And the Pilot Challenge page will go till the end of the month, and then we'll launch the Agent Challenge, you guys. So if you're, we gave out the prize for our Best Pilot Challenge winner, which was cool. So if you guys are still, there's still people that are on there. We're still on there answering questions, and still people are booking. We just had Doreen book a pilot. Right, she's won our challenges like so many times.
I know.
Yeah. So Marjorie wants to know if you could just post that link again. Oh, you posted it to all panelists.
Oh, all panelists. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Post it to everyone.
All panelists and attendees. Sorry, guys. Okay, here's the link.
Done.
There it is.
Okay.
Got
it. Yeah. Great. So listen, you guys, if you want to come to the Mind Games in Atlanta, New York, Chicago, or New Orleans, you need to let us know if you're a client, and we'll get you a ticket. I'm going to have a couple of my clients in Atlanta up on that panel talking, sharing. We're going to have some other really interesting people. Atlanta's in a really cool place. It's really in the art district. We got this loft space we're renting. It's really great. So we're going to have a good time there. You should come, Scott, to Atlanta.
I know. I want to go to Atlanta. I haven't been to Atlanta in a long time, man. 30 years.
I haven't either. I haven't been there in so long. I'm so excited.
I know. Me
and
too.
I have some of my favorite old students there Tina said, please. Oh, you said Catter's
Fast Track.
Maybe
we should change our business model. It should be Cat Fast Track.
Cat Fast Track.
That would make a lot more money than Actors Fast Track. Cat people love to give away money.
She says cat's on my mind.
Oh, I bet.
Catter's Fast Track. Yes, Tina at Actors Fast Track. Duh, haha. Okay, so email her if you're a client and you're going to be at any of those events. If not, you want to get a ticket at aftmindgames.com. Or if you're listening to this at the very last minute, you can text the word actor to 38470 and get a $10 ticket.
Wow.
And you get all this information plus lunch. Come on, who wouldn't want to do that? So
$10?
We're excited for Atlanta. We're going to be on Tyler Perry, man. You should come.
No kidding, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be on Tyler Perry like a bad suit. We're going to be on Tyler Perry like a bad moo-moo.
Oh, I know. And I loved your trailer.
Oh, the mod?
Yes, I loved it. It was hilarious. Let's start shooting now.
What's that?
Let's start shooting this stuff now. I need to act.
Well, actually, we do. We have to.
The pilot challenge is a worldwide thing, Ann. So you go to the Actors Fast Track, book a pilot challenge, ask to join, we'll let you in. And you can do any mind games you want to do, and for gratis as being a client. So any mind games, you can go to all of them if you want to go. So because Marjorie came out, she was here for the LA Mind Games, and now she's going to be in the Atlanta Mind Games. So that will be fun. And then Jordan Gelber is going to be Atlanta and New Orleans. And Jordan is doing something big right now too. She's working on, I can't say.
Claws? I saw that. I didn't remember that was.
Well, I think she's fine.
I love that show.
No, listen, Kara, I'm so glad you asked this. She says, is a 9-page role too much to pitch for at this point if you've never booked TV?
No.
Well, I think let's ask Joy Nash what she would say about that.
Yeah.
Got the lead in a series with 2 co-stars on her resume. It doesn't matter. If you're right for the role, go for the role.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Don't worry about it. Like, it happens all of the time. I mean, one of my old students, Ellie, is like doing the lead in Allegiance at the Pantages, and she went to an open call.
Mm-hmm.
And she understudied the lead on Broadway, and now she's doing the lead out here.
Yeah. Yeah. No. You should. The thing is, you got to keep in mind, you're not pitching yourself for a role. You're not auditioning for a role. You're beginning and nurturing a relationship with the casting director.
Yeah.
You're not looking for auditions, and you're not looking for roles. You're starting relationships with casting directors. And if the casting director is casting a Chinese guy, I still might walk in and say, hey, ha, ha, ha. Then they know me. I'm there. And then they go, oh, no, you're totally not right for your role. But guess what? I've got this thing over here.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Say, hey, and if your fear is that they're going to say, oh, you have no credits. Hey, I'm really new in this business, but I saw this role and I had to call you and say, please see me for this role. Because when I see a match, I have to act. I mean, that's my job. And so I would love to show you what I can do with this role.
And by the way, they're never going to say, we're not going to see you because you don't have any credits. They will never, ever, 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 ever say that. They may think it, but they're never going to say it to your face. So don't even, just take that conversation out. They're going to say thank you very much because they're polite people and they're nice people.
Yeah.
Okay? They're always going to say thank you very much.
You know, if they're not, then you'll get cast in 5 films if someone yells at you. Because anytime someone yells at you, other people are witnessing that, including yourself.
Yeah. And I have never in my life been yelled at. You got yelled at once, right?
Right, which
Once.
then in turn got me 5 movies.
Yeah, but the point is,
I've been shoved out and I've been trying to do that, but it's like, you know, Meredith's going to be on my panel, and my favorite story is Meredith when she called and she said, I want to be seen for this role. They go, oh, we hate it when actors pitch themselves. And she goes, okay, but anyway, and she went on to pitch herself. She got the audition and she got the job.
let me tell you something else, the story that I heard from another casting director. So they were casting a musical on Broadway, and it had a lot of black actors in it. And this woman called up from Atlanta, and she said, Jesus told me to call an audition for this role. And the casting director said, well, if Jesus can get you here Tuesday at 10 o'clock, you can audition for the role. Jesus got her there for the audition, and she got the part. She didn't even live in New York, and it was a big role in a musical because she picked up the phone and called. And you know what? If I was casting something and someone called up and said, Jesus told me, I would think this person's crazy. But I still might see them, because crazy does not mean you can't act. Crazy just means that you're a colorful, crazy person like the rest of us.
Yep, Kara. All right. We're out of time.
Yeah.
So I want to say goodbye this month. Get your ticket for the Mind Games. We'll be back at you next month. It'll still be going on. But let us know, that you want to come or get a ticket. It's not to be missed. We'll get you out of your way and get you on the road to getting the acting career that you are dreaming of, but not getting to.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. You are welcome. Thank you, Garrett, and thank you everyone for being here. And don't forget to get your tickets, and we'll see y'all soon. Coming to a city near you. All right. Bye.
Bye.